Hello, millennials and Gen Z are thriving. A cup of coffee costs your hourly wage, rent takes half your income, if you have one. And owning a house is as realistic as winning the lottery without buying a ticket. But there's always that lovely boomer who chimes in, "When I was 25, I had a house, a car, a spouse, and 2 kids. Yes, Gerald, you also had houses that cost 10 minimum wages and a job market where can read and write was enough to be regional manager. Today, a 20-year-old man staying new, a 28-year-old with a master's, fluent English, 3 internships, and trauma from unpaid overtime gets experience and a free coffee if they survive the second round of interviews. Complain and you'll hear, "You kids are so entitled, want everything handed to you." Right. Because selling encyclopedias door to door in 1982 and getting promoted because your boss liked your mustache was such a grind. Now we do 5 interviews, 2 psychological tests, a group dynamics ritual, submit a 12-slide pitch deck, and still get rejected because Mercury was in retrograde during the algorithm's lunch break. Meanwhile, boomers are out here blaming the Uber Eats generation for their failed economic model. If you stopped buying avocado toast, you'd have a house by now. Of course! Let me just skip 7,500 toasts and buy a 1-bedroom coffin in the suburbs with a leak and a ghost. USA, the land of the free and the indentured. In America, the average student debt is bigger than the GDP of a small nation. Pay $200K to study philosophy of hope and graduate into a 10-hour internship with networking potential. Just build connections. Sure, I'll grab a $12 coffee with the CEO's son who was bottle-fed by an Ivy League professor, while I split a closet with 3 roommates and a raccoon. Europe, romantic poverty with sourdough. In Europe, it's more aesthetic. The youth are educated, multilingual, and completely unemployed. Living the dream in Berlin. Freelancing graphic design for a yoga coach named Astrid while waiting for the government to approve their monthly dignity allowance. But, hey, at least there's public transport and pain au chocolat. South America, capitalism on hard mode. And then, there's South America. Beautiful landscapes, broken dreams. Our young adult here has 3 degrees, a postgrad, 2 side hustles, and still earns $400 a month, no benefits, just growth potential. Starting a business with what money? Your startup begins with artisanal empanadas and ends with close due to aggressive landlord. Emigrate? Become lazy Latin in someone else's broken economy. The same boomers who lit the planet on fire now lecture you about personal responsibility. But sure, it's our fault. We're the fragile ones, the entitled ones, the lazy generation. Imagine working 60 hours a week, freelancing on weekends, investing, saving, learning 3 languages, exercising, meditating, networking, managing mental health, and still smiling on LinkedIn like everything's fine. Meanwhile, your uncle who finished high school because the teacher owed his dad a favor is now VP of something because he showed initiative by not dying at work. You just don't want to work hard. No, sir. You just don't want to admit that your generation rode the capitalism roller coaster during maintenance hours, then left us to clean up the wreckage with the unpaid internships and self-help podcasts. But it's okay, we adapt. We survive on caffeine, memes, antidepressants, and whatever's left after rent. Anxiety's the new personality. Therapy's a luxury. And hope, that's just a rebranded coping mechanism. Our credit scores are dying, our dreams are cremated, but at least our TikToks are funny. And when they ask if we want kids, we smile and say, "Of course," so one day they can hear about how we used to eat tomatoes.